With Minecraft Live 2022 less than a month away, everyone's wondering what features Mojang will add in the next update. So here's the top 16 features that might be in Minecraft 1.20. Number 16, an inventory update. You know that Mojang is thinking about it since they were working on bundles at one point, an early game item that was supposed to declutter your inventory. Mojang ended up scrapping this idea, however, inventory management remains a huge issue. Will they increase the number of items we can hold in a slot? Will they straight up increase the inventory space? No idea. I realize that this would be a huge change to something that hasn't been touched since Java InDev, but if you watch Hermitcraft at all, you know that just about every single creator on the server has complained about inventory management, even more so than usual. Hermitcraft is obviously one of the most popular and influential SMPs on YouTube, and they even have the ears of the developers. DocM77 recently posted a video where he gave Sliced Lime and King B-Dogs, both being well-known Mojang employees, a tour of the Hermitcraft server and discussed how big of a problem the inventory is. And because of this, and also the community at large complaining about it more and more, my bold prediction is that we're going to see some radical change to the inventory within the next 2 updates. Number 15, a refresh for some older structures. Some older structures are great, don't touch those. Then there are some that feel dated. For example, this is a dungeon. Does this look like a dungeon to you? No, sir, that's a sad little box. And when I imagine a dungeon, I see something like a mine shaft that's maybe a bit more dangerous with better loot, wider hallways, and maybe some large open rooms. While we're talking structures, look at this jungle temple. I think it could also use a refresh. When I look at a jungle temple, I think golden idols and traps. Maybe the jungle temple could be full of traps that protect a totem of undying in the middle. I feel like that would be enough to get me excited to see one of these things, because as it stands right now, I can't even be bothered to go into a jungle temple unless I'm in the very early game. Number 14, a desert update. I keep seeing people talk about a Badlands update and how much they really want that, but I can't think of a single biome I get more excited to find than the Badlands. The world generation is already interesting, the whole biome is made of colorful terracotta, which opens up a ton of interesting building possibilities, and not to mention, all the surface mine shafts. That's such a unique feature that really only this biome has. Compare that to the desert. You have cactuses, dead bushes, and sand. There's also the desert temple, which to be fair is great, and whatever this thing is. The desert could really use some new plants or structures, maybe even the possibility for an oasis to spawn in, and maybe with some palm trees or something. I think at the very least, more desert temple variants would be fun. Sort of like how there's 4 versions of the Bastion remnants, maybe they could do the same thing with desert temples. Number 13, a food update. Minecraft already has a decent amount of food, but once you have access to steak or golden carrots, there's really no reason to eat anything else. I would really appreciate some more novelty food like pumpkin pies. Food that's not maybe the most optimal, but you feel quirky and different eating it. The hunger system is always looming over you, but it's not particularly challenging, it's more of a nuisance. Food is always abundant, even from day one, and I don't necessarily think that's a problem, but giving other food in the game some love by rewarding players or having varied diets would make the hunger system way more engaging in my opinion. Just imagine having a Valhalla-style mess hall in your base, getting your friends together, and then using it to eat a massive feast before you go out and slay some monsters. I think that would be so much fun. And one more small suggestion. What if glowberries made you glow? I'm kind of surprised it's not already a vanilla feature, to be honest. There's been so many times where I've gone caving with other people and then we got separated and then we couldn't find our way back to each other. Imagine being able to eat a glowberry and then having all players see you for a couple of seconds. I think that was a real missed opportunity in my book. Number 12, more hostile mob variants. I can't be alone in thinking that Minecraft's mobs are incredibly stale. A bunch of entirely fresh mobs are obviously preferred, but I think that's asking for a lot. I would be happy if we just got more variants of other mobs. Strays and husks are awesome. More of those please, and I'd be a very happy ice cream cone. Number 11, more uses for your offhand. As it stands right now, you can use your left hand to hold a totem, shield attacks, use fireworks, or place torches. And I think that's a great start, but what if your left hand could hold a grappling hook, shoot a crossbow, maybe use some kind of skulk-based item to detect enemies in short range, turn the skulk shriekers into an arm-mounted sound cannon, or throw ender pearls, even hold a falcon companion that helps you in combat like wolves. There is so much potential. So many better things your left arm could be doing rather than dangling there like some kind of useless limp noodle. Number 10, fireflies. Okay, maybe this is a terrible idea considering all the controversy around them, but Mojang has been making terrible PR moves lately. With the PR team obviously asleep at the wheel, I wouldn't count this out. Number 9, add features to Minecraft commands/resource packs. Thankfully, I feel like this is just about guaranteed since Mojang is very supportive of community-created content. As many of you guys know, I make Minecraft data packs. I can make a whole video about data pack features that I would like to see Mojang add, but I'll keep this brief. Right and left click detection, custom crafting recipes to support NBT data, support for custom blocks, custom armor models with resource packs, and creating custom player animations using resource packs like you can in Bedrock. Number 8, being able to automate jukeboxes. I'm actually surprised that this isn't a vanilla feature. I've tried to do this and was surprised that it didn't work, but imagine being able to feed a hopper a disc and having that hopper feed the disc to the music box and then having the song play. Sound is such an important part of creating an interesting atmosphere, so Mojang, please, this would be an amazing feature. Number 7, hopper filters. While we're talking about Redstone, imagine a block that works exactly like a hopper, but you can specify which blocks are allowed to flow through. I know what people are going to say, but whimsy, we can already do that. And it's true, but it's bulky and tedious to set up. Now think about bud switches, block update detectors. They allow us to detect block updates before observers were even a thing, so I don't think it's completely out of the question for something like this to be added. Also, with the inventory being such a huge issue, anything that can make automatic sorting systems more accessible to the average player would be game-changing. When you think about it, sorting systems are somewhat advanced, requiring a huge resource gathering effort and a moderately difficult redstone build. In my opinion, automatic sorting systems offer a tremendous quality of life improvement, and the barrier to entry needs to be lower. Number 6, faster minecarts. Minecarts right now are useful for farms, but they are a terrible mode of transportation. You need to go through all this trouble to set up the infrastructure and gather resources, and then you are rewarded by something that is slower than horses, which is a shame because trains are awesome. All the other mechanics around minecarts are great, but I feel like the Elytra has basically made them totally obsolete. I feel that a simple and significant speed boost is really all they need to reach their full potential. Number 5, more uses for echo shards. This ancient city loot got me really excited when they first announced it, and I always thought that it was strange that you could only craft a recovery compass with it. Maybe you could stick it in a smithing table and infuse your tools with sculk rather than netherite. Or maybe you could use them to make a potion that allows you to hear mobs better or something. I feel like it's just about guaranteed that Mojang will give this mysterious loot some more uses in later updates. Number 4, the fletching table. This block's only purpose is to get a Fletcher villager. You can't make anything special with it, you can't improve your bows in any way. It is a useless cube as far as I'm concerned. And when you think about it, all the other villager workstations have a use beyond just being a workstation. Maybe if Minecraft 1.20 is a combat update, we'll see it updated. But if not, my guess is that it's just going to continue gathering dust. Number 3, more particle emitting blocks. This sounds like a small thing, but I really don't think it is. Campfires and enchantment tables are amazing. They make builds feel so much more alive and dynamic, something that I feel like Minecraft is lacking. Comparing Minecraft now to where it was even 5 years ago, we have so many different colors and textures, and the community itself has developed really cool building techniques. At this point, I feel like players are a lot more limited by the static nature of the game rather than the block palette. Number 2, the Deep Dark Portal. I know it's a portal. I mean, just look at it. It has to be. Players have been talking a lot about the structure, as Mojang intended, and I think a surprise announcement of a new dimension would generate a ton of excitement. But realistically, I doubt that we're going to see a new dimension anytime soon, especially since Mojang has gone on record saying that there won't be a new dimension added to the game before every single existing dimension is updated. Which leads me to my next and final feature. Number 1, an end update. I actually love the end. The dragon fight is fun, and raiding end cities is one of my all-time favorite parts of the game, but I have had several times where I have wandered through the barren end wastelands for literal hours not being able to find an end city, and there is nothing but chorus fruit, endstone, and endermen, and those things are great, but that is not nearly enough content to keep me interested for the hours of mindless wandering. What if they just simply vary the height of the floating islands, or maybe even more advanced, they added new biomes? That would be really cool if they could do that, kind of like what they did with the Nether. Maybe they could add a new wood type, or even new mobs, preferably a mob that would make your end travels easier. So like, you think about the Nether Strider, how they can walk on lava. What if you had an end strider that would allow you to basically walk on air? And what if they made the end cities a little bit more crowded by throwing in another mob sort of like piglins where you're able to barter with them and maybe get some interesting end loot from them. But I think most importantly, they would need to add some blocks to complement the existing end blocks, because right now, I really don't know how to build with them, and I've never really seen anyone take these existing end blocks and make it look good in a build. I'm convinced that it's impossible, so maybe even a slight color change to existing end blocks to help them blend better with the rest of Minecraft's blocks. I don't know, let me know what you guys want to see for an end update. And as much as I would love to see it, I would be very surprised if we got an end update this time around. Mojang has been overpromising and under-delivering lately, and I think they realize that. So I believe that they're going to push out a smaller update this time around, sort of like 1.15's Buzzy Bee update, which means it's probably going to be something totally random that no one's expecting, and this video is going to age like milk. But hey, you made it till the end of the video, so maybe consider subscribing. My name is Whimsy. Thank you for watching.
He's a magical blacksmith from lands unknown. He's your favorite data packet ice cream cone. You might ask yourself,